The EPA has known for years about the dangers of an industrial chemical known as TCE, but without regulations, tens of thousands of businesses today are still exposing their workers to this toxin, which has made its way in factories and to our drinking water. Attorney Madeline Pendley joins me to talk about this. Maddie, tell us what TCEs are.
So TCE is trichloroethylene. It's a man-made chemical. So we came up with this. And it's actually used mostly in factories for cleaning of medical equipment and metal parts. But it's also found in different cleaning products that we all use and are therefore exposed to in our own homes. Despite being used in so many different ways, it's actually extremely dangerous. It's a class 1 carcinogen, and it has been for a very long time.
Kidney cancer, liver cancer, birth defects, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, it has the capacity to do that.
Right.
It's in cleaning. As you point out, they use it to clean electronics. They use it in refrigeration. They use it in dry cleaning. Many, many uses of it. And the industry, the Dow Chemical,
yes,
and it has known for a very long time how dangerous this is. There's some countries you can't even use it. It's banned totally.
Right.
I'm wondering what kinds of health problems besides those are emerging. Where are we seeing the biggest clusters of health problems?
Really all over the country. So geographically, there's a little bit in every state, it seems like. They're mostly centralized around these factories or these manufacturing facilities. So either the air around those facilities is polluted, and it actually seeps down into the water table. So TCE will leach down in, and so the communities around these factories are drinking the water and they're being exposed to it as well. So really all over the country, just demographically affecting factory workers.
Well, there's no way to even warn it about it. I mean, if you're working around a factory, where we're really seeing this is on military bases, right? I mean,
we are seeing it on a military basis as well.
And
yes.
why are we seeing it so much on military bases? We actually see military bases being shut down as Superfund sites,
yes,
because the government can't clean up the disaster. Talk about that.
So this stuff gets into the environment, whether it's on a military base or the factories or wherever, mostly through dumping, spilling, or leaks. So you can have leaks in the pipelines that seeps out into the environment, or just negligent, care when they're transporting this stuff. It dumps and contaminates the entire community.
Well, what is anything being done on the federal level? It seems like the EPA, as usual, has just kicked the can down the road.
Absolutely.
And let industry tell them what industry wanted to do. EPA leadership, the White House leadership has been totally non-existent on this.
Right.
It wasn't just the Obama administration that knew about this. It goes all the way back to George Bush. I mean, Bush knew what the potential problems are, and they just let the FDA just slide on this. Just do whatever you want to do.
Right. We've known how dangerous TCE is for a very long time. And as you mentioned, some flags were raised during the Obama administration. Some bans were suggested. They wanted to start enforcing protections to try and reduce the levels of TCE exposure, try to stop these facilities and these factories from using it. But unfortunately, the EPA confusingly kind of blocked some of those measures. They actually, especially during the Trump administration, actually worked to protect TCE so that these businesses did not have to stop using it.
Okay, we've seen the problem is that it's not, as we said, you talked about the factory, and we talked about the fact that it's used on military bases a lot for degreasing, all types of industrial size equipment. But the problem is it's then moving from the base, it's seeping down into the aquifer to where we have 34% of the drinking water supply in this country right now has TCE in it.
Exactly.
And people have no idea what that means to them, right?
Right. And so the problem is this could have been prevented had, as you mentioned, these companies and these military bases done the right thing from the jump. But now the problem is the contamination is so much further spread than those factories and military bases. So one thing you can do is if you think your water supply has been contaminated, you can order tests for it. There are blood tests and breath tests that you can get yourself to see how much TCE has accumulated in your body. But otherwise, the only thing to really do at this point is to avoid those areas, if possible, and get your drinking water tested.
Well, it's not going to go away. I
No.
mean, it's not as bad as PFAS. PFAS is in the environment for a million years.
Right.
This simply just, the environment just recharges this as it moves through the aquifer. It doesn't really just go away. It moves into your drinking water. Utah, really interesting story there in Utah, where you had the military base was hugely affected, and then they started having cancer clusters outside the military base, all around the military base. kidney cancer, liver cancer. They had some birth defects. Talk about that. What are the places that we know are kind of hot spots for this?
So there are actually pretty significant pockets in almost every state. Some of the biggest offenders are, Utah, Arizona, California has several, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, specifically at Camp Lejeune, another military base, as well as Florida, specifically West Virginia and Oregon. So if you know somebody who potentially has TCE contamination in West Virginia and Oregon and has experienced some of those side effects we talked about, Parkinson's, cancer, kidney and liver failure, you can give us at Levin Papantonio Rafferty a call and we'll look into it.
You know what's interesting? Jan Schlickman he was a partner of mine, law partner. He was of counsel with this law firm and has been a friend a long time. He's the lawyer that tried there's a book, it's called A Civil Action. They made a movie out of it. It's called A Civil Action. He actually tried the first TCE case decades ago.
Yeah.
He gave all the information to the government, to the EPA. Jan Schlickman had worked the case up from ground on, and all he got from them was, we're not interested. We don't think this is a problem.
Right.
This killed people all up and down this area where he tried the case. The case was unsuccessful. But what he did is he took all of that information. It's worth seeing. It's called A Civil Action. It's a great movie, but the book is superb. And this is where it all started, really.
Right, and like you mentioned, the problem is that the EPA has enough information to do something about this. And they should. I mean, if they're not going to, who else is? But they're not interested, and they're actually taking steps to protect TCE in these facilities.
I hope you'll go after them. Thanks a lot, Maddie.
Thanks.